Welcome to Fishing Basics 101. We're going to show you some basics in fishing as far as the cast, the reels, and some different baits you can use on a farm pond, which is pretty similar to any kind of city pond or public pond that you might find. Obviously, there's a variety of places you can go with permission or with the right type of license. But at the same time, so my family has fished as long as I can remember. It's one of those that we do for recreation, we do it for food. So anywhere from bass, crappie, walleye, from Midwest to the southern states and out into Canada. So good luck fishing. Hopefully you can take something from this and use on your fishing adventures. So enjoy it.
All right, so I'm gonna show you a very, very basic knot that anybody can do. It tends to hold pretty tight. This is what I used to fish when I was in middle school. There are more advanced knots that hold a little bit better and have less drag, but this is what I use. It's very basic, very easy. Basically, you're gonna make a loop, and then you're going to twist around, put your loop through the twist, and then the key is to make the loop larger than your lure or jig or whatever you're going to use, and just cinch that down really, really tight. And then you can cut off the tag. My grandma says your teeth are God's scissors. Now the disadvantage is that this is going to catch weeds and stuff, but it works. So now you've got your loop with your knot, and you're going to take this loop and put it through the hole on your jig head. So you're going to thread that through, hopefully. This is the hardest part. Then thread that through. And then you're going to take your loop and you're going to put it around your hook and then pull it tight. And you want to make sure that it's even on both sides or it won't run well through the water. There you go. Very easy, except for threading through the hole. You got it. All right, there are two different types of reels. One is an open face, so you can see that the line is open. The other is closed. Most people like the closed for beginners, but I actually think they're more difficult because if the line gets all knotted up inside, you have to take it apart, make it straight again. So I actually like the open. It just takes a little bit more practice to learn. So the key to casting is you're gonna pull it back behind you, and you're either going to push the button here or release your finger from the line at about yay angle. It takes practice, but once you get the hang of it, basically they're the same. Just one is pushing a button, the other is releasing the line with your fingers. So button is pretty basic, so I'm gonna show you how to cast with the other one. So you wanna reel your jig, lure, bait, whatever, up to the top. Manageable distance is usually about 6 inches. You're gonna reel that up, and then you're gonna put the line close to the rod here so you can grab it with your finger. So you're gonna grab it like yay, and then you're gonna flip this over so now the line can spin freely. So I'm gonna pull my reel back, and when I get here, I'm going to let go of the line with my finger, and it's gonna come out. Got a good long cast there, and depending on the depth of the lure in the water is how fast you're gonna reel. So if you want it to go all the way to the bottom, then you would count as long as you want for that sinker to make it to the bottom, and then you can reel slowly or quickly. More aggressive fish are gonna respond well to a faster speed. So if I just wanna putz around, I might reel a circuit about once a second. If I wanna fish for bass, or if I wanna keep my stuff out of the weeds, I'm gonna reel quite a bit faster than that. You really can't reel too fast. Most of the time you're just trying to get this to buzz by. The faster you go, the more activity you're gonna get out of this tank. All right, next skill I'm gonna show you is how to put a worm on a hook. We've got worms and some dirt. And you're gonna grab one of these bad boys out of here. These have already been cut, so we're gonna find a nice, fresh, feisty one here. And this is more worm than your smaller fish can swallow. So you're gonna cut that in half. I always just use my fingernail. Gross, but it works. And then we're going to take our hook, and we're going to put that through the end, through the worm, 2 or 3 times. You want to get enough on there that it's not going to fall off. We're going to do 4 on this hook just because it's a really long one. But you also want enough to kind of hang off the edges to be tempting, and a little wiggler guy on the end. And then I would wash the mud off my hands in the water. Bobber to the line. The bobber is spring loaded, so if you push the whole top, it's going to push up the hook on the bottom of the bobber. And then if you hold this in and push just the outside, you've got a hook on the top. So we're going to hook the hook on the top to the line, like yay. And then we're going to push the whole thing down and hook the line on the bottom, like yay. And there we have our bobber. If you want to move the bobber up and down, you want to release the pressure. Otherwise, you're going to ruin your line and you might lose a big fish. So you don't want to drag the line through the hook. You want to lift the hook up. Ready? There's a good cast. Now with a bobber, you've set the depth of the bait from the top of the bobber. And so if you're fishing your bait 12 inches from the top, you probably want to reel that a little bit closer. In the pond here, there's an edge of weeds that you can see, and I'm going to reel that up right next to that edge, because that's where the fish are going to be. And then grab your camp chair, relax, have a good day. So we have our bobber floating in the pond. It's kind of boring fishing for some people, so some of us prefer to fish with lures. So I have a couple of different options. The ponds usually have bass, crappie, bluegill, predator type fish that are going to want some sort of live bait. And so these stimulate live bait. Your bigger jigs are going to be for bigger fish, so this would be ideal for catching bass in springtime. The white color shows up really well in dark water and cloudy days like today. This is specifically for crappie and bluegill. Crappie and bluegill have very small mouths, so you want really small baits, but they like flashy colors and sparkles. Chartreuse and red work really well too. And this is called a beetle spin, and it helps to add some flash and some movement. So you can see this is all sparkly, and it's mostly meant to be really soft like a live bait would be. But this makes it look like a school when it's in the water. It flashes and spins really nice. The motion of the tail is what attracts their attention here. So I would use this if I was fishing for like largemouth bass, and I would use this for crappie or bluegill, although you can catch both on both.